Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is...
Okay, Coach, it is a brisk night in the Midwest as we bring you football from Paul Brown Stadium in the Queen City, Cincinnati, Ohio. Tonight, we put a bow on Week 15 with a good Monday night matchup between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Jackson now off the bootleg. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. And we get a quick peek at the Ravens starting offense.
So let's all work together on this one because it's natural to just watch the football. I want all of us to watch the center of this offensive line, the center and the two guards. They've got to be able to control the point of attack, and they didn't do such a good job on that last play. Plenty of opportunities to redeem themselves. They'll have to take advantage of that and start to make progress.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. Got a man, it's Brown. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. A look there at the defensive starters for Cincinnati. They played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
And the big thing for them was the interceptions. And you hear teams all the time talk about establishing themselves against the pass, you know, no-fly zones and things of that nature. This group had a bunch of them in last week's game.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Jackson sliding out of the pocket. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. On first down, Stevenson. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Looking to throw. Hamilton looking middle, and that's complete. The 30, the 20, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there, 79 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Ravens heading out on offense as we look at the playoff picture in the AFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoffs. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. They go play action now. Jackson Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack. And that's what I'm seeing so far.
It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader. And quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing. And let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real. And it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A gain there of 30 big ones. How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has zero answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change things around, but offensively, I keep attacking. I keep throwing the football until they make me change.
They'll run on first down. It's Stevenson. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. A great play there with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Extra point right down the middle, and that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time. Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. He had a minimal gain on first down. Now they stop him for no gain. What do you think, going in a different direction on 3rd down?
Could very well be. I'll guarantee he's asking for the ball 3rd time to try and make up for the first 2. But his QB might very well say, well, my man, maybe next series. Let's try someone else on this play.
Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Throwing is Jackson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jenkins. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Well, he made that catch knowing full well that at the end of it, he's going to catch a pretty good lick.
I guess if there's anyone on this team that can absorb a pop, it's him. Off the bootleg, Jackson. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down.
When a linebacker's able to sit at the 2nd level and see things develop in front of him, as soon as he got a hint that the quarterback was checking it down, he just made a beeline directly for the receiver and ended up making the play.
And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 25 yards, the pickup there, and also a 1st down. Got to give a nod of appreciation to some of those guys up front over on that left side. Several key blocks sprung him.
No appreciation for the guys from the backside that didn't allow any leakage, anybody could run him down from the backside.
They're at the kids' table.
Okay, so front side guys good, backside guys, that's what you're supposed to do?
I've had better.
Okay, either way, worked out quite well, didn't it? A nice sizable gain.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Off play action. Hamilton under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
You see me? You see me? They can't stop me.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Hamilton. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Well, he's been the guy. Already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 13. Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
Taken from just outside the 30. It'll go as a 50-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. That one goes for 30 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Ready?
Off the play fake. Hamilton. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Now this throw caught left side, and they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for third down. CD, with that last pass, he joined a group of about 50 other men that are over 30,000 career passing yards. So, look, he's not at the top, but that's pretty good company.
Yeah, it's not the most exclusive fraternity in the NFL, but it's a pretty good one, isn't it? You still have to put some numbers up in order to get in, okay? The secret knock is still there. How about him getting it done? Proud of him.
They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down. Here we go on 4th down. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Now a handoff looking right. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there. With another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on, just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is up to 18 now. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Let's go.
70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a first down. That catch, number 750 of his NFL career, and it puts him even with not just one but 2 Hall of Famers, Michael Irvin and Charlie Joyner. So some pretty good company at 750.
Now you talk about the playmaker, Michael Irvin, and the guy who just made plays, Charlie Joyner. And that's what we're seeing here. Similar style in terms of being dependable, being open, and turning it into plays that you remember.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Single receiver.
To throw again is Jackson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Jackson will throw again. And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. Here's Jackson to throw. And that is incomplete. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Let's go. 10 Lobo.
Yeah, Mike. I got you, son.
Now.
Back to throw. Hamilton. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18.
Your trip is here.
So we are at halftime here. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And to give this time to the tailback. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Operating from the gun, Hamilton. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So no problems moving the ball in the first half, but they'll likely come up empty here on drive 1 of quarter 3.
And it was so important for the defense to get that stop, because what we witnessed in the first half was them getting run over. And they needed the confidence, and they needed to get off the field so they felt good going forward in this game.
This is taken at the 15. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Then he'll give it here to his running back. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Bengals getting set to go. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. On 2nd down, it's Stevenson. And down he'll go at the 25. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
I can't believe they let you play.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll wind up losing yardage here, back at the 21-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Yeah, every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards, the final tally. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Off play action. Hamilton. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Now a handoff looking right. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. 9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Looking to throw. Hamilton. And that will be incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, it should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive. But they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Might want to remember that 3rd down play, 37 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Check 13. Check.
And they give this time to the tailback. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now it's Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another 1st down. Back now in Cincinnati. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
He's not going to get me.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. This defense has not surrendered a touchdown yet. You better believe they're determined not to here on 3rd and goal. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. They go for it on 4th and goal, but that winds up incomplete. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and the Bengals will get the football back. So they finally get their first trip to the red zone, and it ends with nothing.
And that's what I'm going to focus on with you, because you teed it up really well. Finally get to the red zone. So there's got to be a little bit of frustration because they haven't moved the ball as well as they wanted to all game. Now they get there, but we got to go for it because we don't know if we can get back here again. We don't know how many opportunities because they've been sputtering a little bit.
Absolutely. At this stage in the second half, to get there and not get it for the first time, tough.
65.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Stevenson. Take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A big play there. His 25th touchdown. Tying him at Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. But go ahead and give him the hat trick. He's been in the end zone now 3 times.
You toss your fedora first, okay? You go ahead and do that. But let's be honest about it. That 3rd one, that's the most spectacular run he's had in the ballgame. It's almost as if he's been playing his own game of, can I top this? And each run has been more spectacular than the last.
The extra point splits the uprights, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Just a 4-play drive that time, and a long run there in the end to top it off. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. To throw is Jackson. Going to throw again. Rolling to his left. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Jackson. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions. Because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Back to throw. Holloway. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Mack Wilson charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation to the...
Now a hit and a loose football.
Come on now, let's go.
It's been a struggle all game for them on offense. This was a chance to maybe provide a little bit of a spark with a punt return. Unfortunately, that spark got doused.
Yeah, and you call special teams the 3rd phase, but you see here it can be the 1st phase sometimes.
That is so true, right? It can ignite it one way or the other, and boy, that didn't help them at all.
A good pickup there, a 22.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the gun, Jackson. Over the middle here to Brown. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
Yeah, baby, yeah!
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Throwing again on second down. Jackson over the middle, complete. That's Jenkins. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another first down. Again, Jackson. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Matthews the intended target, but now it's third and goal. 2 incompletions haven't moved him any closer, and likely throwing again, you'd have to think on third and goal here. And now the third down throw incomplete as well. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This is a 26-yard attempt. And the 38-year-old vet able to split the uprights. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's getting off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
They'll keep it on the ground. Stevenson, and for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll lead here to a third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer.
They'll try the left side. It's Stevenson. He'll have a first down past the 40. He's at the 40. Past the 20. 10. And did he get in? No. Down at the 1-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on first and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead will swell by one more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So for Cincinnati, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they'll drop to 10-4 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.